Hey, welcome back. Bob the Vaping Computer Guy. Today we're taking a look at a new tank by Yosta. This is a sub-ohm coil tank. This is called the Pillar Tank. Alright, we're going to dive right down to the table. I'm going to show you the unboxing from when I first got this and disassemble the whole thing, put it back together again, then we'll come back up and we'll talk about it. Alright, today we're taking a look at the new Pillar Tank by Yosta. Alright, got some specs on the back for you here. You got the Pillar Tank, it says one coil, but you actually have two in there. Replacement glass, inner hexagon spanner, top fill, all that stuff. So let's open it up. I haven't used this yet. We're doing this unboxing. First look at it before I actually vape on it when we go back up on top. But of course it'll be much later after I've used this thing for a while. So it's a kind of hefty tank, nothing you know, tremendous, but I think it looks nice. Slightly smoked glass there, so you can see what's in it, see a juice level, but it's not so dark that you're gonna not have, you know, you're not gonna be able to see a juice. Pin there really is not protruding. Don't use that on anything other than a regulated device. 510. Top. Alright, so you got your fill there, you got your air release in there, so you won't have any problems. Just one side silent slot, really thick silicone, I don't know what you want to call it, stopper, plunger, whatever you want on there to prevent leaking. You might have noticed what's interesting about it already though, is your airflow. Airflow's on top. Alright, let's see, let's pop open the bottom here. Alright, that's just a base. This is a coil tank, it's not an RTA. Here's your coil. Alright, so let's see, this is coil. And one little downside, the coil does not say its resistance on the coil. Should be always printed on there. Let's check the other one that comes in the box, see if that one says an extra glass. Let's get this out of here. Come on out. This was packaged, the second coil. I did open the bag that it came in. I do not see anything printed on either of these coils. So they're not telling you what they are. That O-ring almost looks a little messed up in there. Let's see this one. Huh. That one too. I don't know if that's okay the way it's on there or if that'll cause a problem, but we will find out. Let's throw that one back in there. So you can see here your air is going to come down through the top here. Must be coming down through these posts here. All right, you can see here. Here's your air chamber. There's a tube in there. So your air is going in there, down that tube, coming out that hole, and then going in through your coil that way, then coming out your coil there. All right. I don't think you can. Let's see. Can you take the rest of this apart for cleaning? And obviously you can wash it out through there, through the top, but I don't know. This really doesn't feel like it comes apart, and I don't want to pull it apart. Oh, there you go. Well, you got to take those 3 hex screws out. So there you go. So that's the hex tool for. That's what it's for. If you pull out these 3, let's do it. Let's see what it looks like. I know some people want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. So let's find out what it looks like if we pull it apart. See, look at those, some interesting little rings in there. We'll see where those go, and some extra screws. So let's pull this apart. You know, for cleaning, if you just wash it really thoroughly through the top, I mean, personally, I'd be fine with that. But if you're somebody that really wants to take the thing apart, clean it out, let's do that. It's one screw. Alright, got 3 screws out there. Whoop. Okay, I think I dropped something. And that. Okay, so that's what those are for. Let's grab those. We got these 2. Alright, so these little O-rings, I don't know which way they're going because I pulled the thing apart and couldn't see it. Now I regret that I took this thing apart. Alright, so you got these little tubes here. Those are your air tubes. Actually, let's pull one out because then we'll see. Let's get tweezers. Alright, so let's pull one of those out because I think we'll see how the O-ring was on the other side. So there's your tube. And that's how it goes. So, the tube is actually placed this way with these O-rings on it. So this is certainly something new, certainly interesting. Alright. So that's how that would go. I'm not going to take the other one out, but then of course you could pull this apart, change your glass, wash it out, and those tubes are your airflow coming down. So let's go ahead and place this back in. See how well this is going to work. And what you could do is you could pull the glass off if you want to be able to see what you're doing. Whoa, well. Alright, so now that O-ring came apart. Gotta hold it down. Let's get this all back in place. Oh, man. Alright, I'm gonna just... Let's try and see if we can get this on camera. It's always harder when you're doing it on camera. Things just never go as smooth as if you're just trying to do it, you know, holding it close to your face so you can see it better. I'll push that down. Okay, so I got that back. So there's the tubes. Let's throw this other seal on here. And I know some of you are very interested in things like this. Some people just say, you know, this is cool, it's a new design, I wonder how it vapes. And other people are like, forget that, that's just way too much work for me, I don't want to deal with it. And I understand that, you get both aspects, so this may not be for you. May not be for me either. Until I start vaping on it, I can't tell you. It's got to have something really good about it to make it worth it. Alright, so you got that all back together again. You can see how that goes. And we're going to take the top, or the bottom, place that back on there. Alright, let's see if I'm seeing that right, because I want to get that back together properly. I think better off taking this off and putting that onto the base. Usually that works out better. Okay, so we got that on there, as you can see. That seal. Now let's try and get this back together again properly. You got to get those tubes in. So you see I got them, but you can see here that one a little messed up. So let's try and just pop that up. So, looking at it close, let's see if I can give you even a better zoom in on that. Come on, focus. There we go. All right. So you can see, I just want to make sure that that seal and that tube are in the proper place. This one looks perfect to me. This one does not. Alright, I'm going off camera for a second so I can see this up close. Be right back. Alright, so let's zoom out again. So I think the easy way of putting this together is this way. Just taking this portion here put these in like that. And then just put this together. Just get that around the tubes. Whoops, sorry about that. I'm trying to see it here. Alright, so that looks like it's back together again properly. We're going to make sure we hold it together. And get at least one screw in there tight. Just big enough to know that it's not coming apart. What I have to do now is put some juice in here, vape on this thing, and see if it's worth it. Is it worth all this work? Now again, you don't have to disassemble that, alright? That's not required by any means. But, you know, if you want to change the glass, you want to really clean it out, then you would have to. So let's get some juice. Alright, got some of this O2 Pure Berry Cheesecake. I'm going to take this really small coil, some juice, get in there. I'm going to drop that into the bottom of the tank. I'm going to throw our bottom on. Alright. Got our top ready. We're going to fill her up. See what the resistance is on this thing, because those coils do not say. Oh, you know, this is going to look really good on this Yosta mod. Look at that. Is that like steampunk design? I don't know. 0.5. Alright, so it's showing this coil as a 0.5. I have a feeling they're both the same. 90 watts is going to be too much for that. We're going to drop this down to like 40 to give it a try, and then just raise it up from there. There you go. So now I'm going to go vape on this for a while, and when we get back up on top, I'll be able to give you my opinion of it. Actually, not the mod, the tank. There you go. Okay, so a few things. Well, first of all, you saw we took the whole thing apart, and the first thing a lot of you are saying is, forget that, way too complicated. Well, the first thing to understand, you don't have to disassemble the tank to clean it out. You only take it apart if you really want to clean the whole thing out inside, if you want to change your glass. Otherwise, you do not need to go through that. You do not need to take out those little silicone rings and the posts in there for the airflow and stuff like that. So, with that said, let's assume you're not taking it apart. I have had zero leaking on this tank. I have had no problems whatsoever. It hasn't leaked. It hasn't caused any problems. I got it on the this Yosta, what's it called? 256. Yeah, Yosta Live Pour 256, which is that hunkin' big mod. All right. The coils in here. I'm not going to vape this on camera, and I'll tell you why. I threw out the coils. I vaped the first coil, and I vaped the whole thing, and it was great. Taste was good. It was a nice vape. And then I ended up changing the coil and not using it for a little while. And then when I used the second coil, I vaped that through. But I was thinking that that was the first coil, and I threw that one away. And now I don't have a third coil for it because they only sent me one tank. Okay, this was sent to me by Yosta for the purposes of the review. So I don't have a coil in it at the moment. But I did vape both those coils for about a week each. I'm a little late on this review. And both the coils vape fine.
They tasted good, they vaped great, no problems whatsoever, but I don't have a coil, so I can't vape it for you right now. It looks complicated, but it's not, because you don't need to disassemble that whole thing like I did there to show you up close. All right, the tank came with this Live Pour 256 box, so it kind of like goes with it, all right, and and just looks good on it. But of course, you could use it on anything you want. And it was great. The whole time I vaped both those coils, 2 weeks worth of vaping on it, and it was great. I'm just pulling up the specs here. The coils are 0.5 ohm coils. 30 to 40 watts is the recommended range on this, and I vaped at about 40 watts. Beautiful, no problems. Standard 510, 4 milliliter capacity. I think it's a 24 millimeter tank, so let me double check that and put it on my, which kind of need batteries in here, so it's hard to see. But 24.5, so no, that's not right, 24. Yeah, 24.5, so I'm getting about 24.5. It's a solid tank. It's got nice weight to it. Unlike, most Yosta things are very light, like their mods. This tank feels like, decently hefty tank. It's solid, works well. The drip tip is a 510 drip tip, not an 810. But this is a direct lung tank, but it's rated at 30 to 40 watts, and at 40 watts, it really vaped great. No complaints about it. Nothing about it, except if you want to fully disassemble it, you got to be careful to get those O-rings back on and all that stuff. But other than that, it's a nice tank. No problems whatsoever. So another win from Yosta. So there you go. That is the Yosta pillar tank. And yeah, it's a thumbs up. She's vaping good. So there you go. Thanks a lot for watching. Check out the link below. I'll link to it on Yosta's site. And thanks to Yosta for sending that in. So there you go. Sorry I couldn't vape it for you right now, but that's the review of the Yosta tank. Thanks a lot. See you soon.